So, you're ready to get pregnant, isn't it? Congratulations! Well, making that decision to try for a baby is a huge milestone, and indeed, you need to be congratulated. But wait, is your body ready for this? Yes, this is because your body will be taxed to the maximum. So, in this video, I'm going to be telling you exactly the things you need to do step by step to help you prepare your body very well in order to achieve this conception. If this is the kind of thing you will enjoy or you enjoy watching, please stay tuned. Now, before we go ahead, my name is Peace Chueze. I'm a registered nurse and midwife, and I currently practice with NHS in England. If you enjoy this kind of content, consider giving me a like and subscribe to my channel, because here I talk about fertility, women's health, and everything health. So let's get started. So here, I'm going to be telling you what you can do within 30 days to help prepare your body to achieve conception. And we are going to be taking it week by week. So within a 4-week period, I'm going to be telling you things that you can do to prepare yourself. So let's start with the first week. In the first week, the first thing you need to do is to stop any form of contraception which you are having. This is optional because not every woman is using contraception. So if you're on any contraceptive pill, this is the time to stop. And when you stop this, your period can come back within a few weeks, and then your first cycle of trying to conceive begins. When you've done this, the next thing you need to do is to begin taking your prenatal vitamins. Yes, this is very important. And when we talk about taking prenatal vitamins, the very most important of them is folic acid. Yes, in taking folic acid, you don't just take folic acid. You make sure you take at least 400 micrograms of folic acid on a daily basis. In fact, it's recommended that you can take this at least 3 months before you get pregnant. So this is something you should start early enough. And in addition to that, next thing is to look at your diet. Having a well-balanced meal at this point is very crucial because it helps you to get all the vitamins, minerals, and every other form of nutrients that your body needs to become stable and healthy enough in order to accept and be able to nurture a healthy baby. So here, you think about eating foods that are more of organic foods, eat a lot of fruits, eat a lot of vegetables, whole grain, and also avoid as much as possible processed foods. Yes, it's not as if you eat processed food, it's going to harm you at this point, but if possible, avoid it as much as you can, because avoiding this reduces significantly the amount of toxic chemicals that you can accumulate in your body. So having done all of this, what else should you do? Next, think about exercise. It is time for you to get really active. If you've not been exercising before now, fine, you can start. It's not too late. Exercising helps to increase blood supply to every part of your body. Generally, it increases and improves your general well-being. It's not just because you want to get pregnant. You need to be healthy in order to have a healthy baby and have a smooth pregnancy. So when we talk about exercise, it doesn't mean doing very strenuous exercise. Do what you know you can do. Taking at least 30 minutes of exercise for 5 days in a week, that gives us 150 minutes of exercise a week, is really good for your health. And that can really improve your health status and help you to conceive. And also, the next thing you need to do is to book a prenatal appointment. This is really important because here you see your doctor, you discuss about everything that needs to be discussed. Here, you can bring up any health issues you've been having that's been bothering you. It's time for you to let your doctor know about all of that, because they could impact your pregnancy or even your unborn child in one way or the other. Your doctor might decide to take some blood tests, maybe to check for your vitamin D levels, to check for other things that needs to be checked. So that is why you must do that prenatal appointment. The next thing you need to do, which is the final for the week 1, is to check your vaccination status. Yes, especially for a woman, you need to make sure that all your vaccinations are up to date. Things like the rubella and tetanus, all of that needs to be properly taken care of because it helps you to have a healthy baby and also makes you healthy throughout the pregnancy. So we've wrapped up all that we are supposed to do in the first week. Let's go to what we should do in the second week. In this second week, we will begin by reducing the amount of toxins that go into our body. Yes, this is very, very important. One thing you need to do is to avoid BPA-free products. So when we talk about BPA, we get this more from the plastic containers that we use. Most of the time, we eat a lot of takeaways, we get them from there. So one thing we can do is to make sure we prepare our foods at home. Yeah, this helps us to avoid eating a lot of these foods made in plastic, that's canned food. So another thing, even if you must get them, when you get them, if it's possible for you to microwave them in your own ceramic plates, that will be really, really helpful. So for the ladies out there, you can avoid makeup products that contain parabens, mercury, and sodium laureth sulfate. So all of these can help reduce toxins. And instead of doing this, try to eat more of organic food, as I mentioned earlier. Try to, make natural products of things you can use for cleaning, avoiding very harsh chemicals. You can use white vinegar and water instead of using some other harsh chemicals. Then also avoid synthetic fragrances. Rather, look for fragrance-free laundry products that you can use in your home. So by doing all of this, you are reducing the amount of toxins you are exposing your body, and this keeps you more healthier to be able to accept that baby and make sure the baby remains healthy. So at this point, it's time for us to talk about stress relief. So here you can think of doing things that help you to relieve stress, be it engaging in yoga classes, be it engaging in relaxing walk, and even listening to music. Do all of these and you will feel better. By the time you have made this a routine, it helps you to maintain a good stress level, which will not just help you during pregnancy, but also in the first year when your baby has been born. Next thing you need to do at this point is to visit your dentist, because the care of your teeth can never be overemphasized as a woman who is trying to conceive, or even as a pregnant woman. So to avoid all the gingivitis and other problems that come up with the tooth during pregnancy, it is best that you begin to visit your dentist at this point, have a proper check to be sure that everything is in order. And most importantly, you can help yourself by maintaining a good oral hygiene, brushing your teeth every morning and night. I know it can be stressful sometimes, especially at night. You feel you're so tired, but doing that will really, really help you to have a good dental health. And that will really be helpful for you during pregnancy and postpartum. Next is to quit tobacco and reduce alcohol intake. So at this point, if you're someone who smokes, this is the time to begin to think about smoking cessation. Any form of tobacco at this point is something that will not be very, very good for your health and that of your baby. In fact, it can even delay your ability to conceive. So it's not just about the woman in this case, also the partner, the man. So when both of you work hand in hand, reduce alcohol intake, reduce smoking, that will not just help you in achieving pregnancy, it can reduce the risk of sudden infant death syndrome when the child is born. It can reduce the risk of stillbirth and even miscarriage. So doing all of this is to your great advantage. Finally, in this second week, it's time to think about having sex. Make it fun, spontaneous, and passionate. It's not time to make it a job. It's not time to make it a responsibility. It's not time to make it like a chore. So it's time to plan yourself, especially targeting the time when you are ovulating. That is the reason you must know how to track your ovulation. You're doing a good job, because now we are in the third week of preparing ourselves to get pregnant. So what should we be doing in this third week? It's time for us to begin to prepare our body weight, making sure that we have a healthy body weight. So here you calculate your BMI, that is the body mass index. It tells you if you are within the normal weight or you are overweight, underweight, or even obese. So now for you to calculate your body mass index, you first know the normal range, which is between 18.5 to 24.9. So anything below 18.5 is underweight, and anything above 24.9 is termed to be overweight. So it could be overweight, you could be obese, and all of that. So now to calculate your own BMI, you do that by dividing your weight in kilogram by your height in meters square. Let's say your weight is 60 kilograms and your height is 1.6 meters. So it will be 60 divided by 1.6 times 1.6. That gives you your body mass index. So if you find out that what you get is less than 18.5, that means you are underweight. And if you have more than 24.9, you are overweight. So if your body mass index doesn't fall within the right range, the healthy weight, it is time for you to begin working on your weight. You have to speak with your doctor, and they will have to refer you either to a dietitian who will now have discussion with you on how to manage your weight. So having done that, the next thing you need to do is to begin to talk about family medical history. This is something that a lot of people do not know about, and a lot of people do not think about before they get pregnant. Knowing the family medical history is very important both for you and your partner, because there are certain medical conditions, disease conditions, or genetic conditions which can impact on you or the baby. So things like having medical conditions like diabetes, hypertension, and even some birth defects, even things like epilepsy, these are things that you should try to know both from your own family and that of your partner. Try to ask your relatives, your parents, your grandparents about if this kind of conditions has existed in the family which you may not know about. And when you find out something, do not hesitate to speak with your healthcare provider, because they will put measures in place to make sure that you have a smooth and safe pregnancy. At this time, it is time for you to begin getting good quality sleep. It is very, very important because we are talking about preparing your body to get pregnant. Now, remember that a lot of people get worried about, oh, how am I going to sleep when the baby comes? This is the time for you to prepare your body by getting at least nothing less than 8 hours of sleep every night. By getting good quality sleep, you're making yourself more stronger to be able to handle the stress of pregnancy and also keep you mentally stable to be able to handle the stress of delivery and caring for a newborn. At this point, the next thing you need to do is to stay hydrated. Taking good amounts of water cannot be overemphasized, whether you're trying to get pregnant or not. But in this case, you need it because it helps in building your blood volume, keeping you well hydrated, and keeping you healthier and stronger. Finally, in this third week, it is time for you to begin to learn about how conception works. A lot of people do not really understand how conception works. So let me give you a very simple explanation. How it works is that when a man and woman have intercourse, the sperm cell travels through the vagina into the fallopian tube to look for an egg. So if it meets any egg, it is time for it to fertilize the egg. And as soon as fertilization occurs, it travels down and goes down into the womb where implantation occurs. So this fertilized egg now goes to the wall of the womb or the wall of the uterus and implants itself. And that is when you now say that pregnancy has taken place. That is where the baby or the zygote will now begin to grow until it reaches full maturity. There are many other changes that occur and many other changes or signs that you will be seeing in yourself, which you should educate yourself about. And this is the time for you to really research as much as you can and have all of that knowledge so that so many things that are unnecessary won't scare you. Doing this research will not just help you to avoid unnecessary visits to the hospital, but will also help you to know when you should visit a doctor immediately. So educating yourself is something you must do before you even think of getting pregnant. So this is our final week in preparing about trying to conceive. So in this week, what should you do? It is very important that at this point you involve your partner and get him checked out. Ensure to encourage him to get enough sleep, enough exercise, avoid alcohol as much as possible, but if impossible, limit alcohol intake. And in this case, it's also very important to quit smoking and the use of illegal drugs. Now, having done all of this, it is also necessary that you begin to think about doing things like learning about the do's and don'ts of pregnancy. In fact, in various parts of the world, there are many do's and don'ts of pregnancy. It is time for you to learn what is really going to help you and what you should avoid. When it comes to food, there are various foods and various vegetables and various drinks that are said not to be healthy for pregnant women. Some are true and some are not. But it is very important that you use this time to do your due diligence, do your research, and know what is right or wrong. If you find anything confusing or difficult to understand, it's time for you to speak to your doctor or speak to your dietitian, as they will be able to help you to determine what you really need to do at this point. Also, learn to build your immune system. This is the very best time for you to boost your immune system, because pregnancy on its own has a way of depleting your immunity. So it is time for you to eat a lot of food that are rich in antioxidants, vitamins, and also get as much rest as possible. By doing all of this, you can improve your immune system to a level that is good enough to sustain you throughout pregnancy and even postpartum. This fourth week is also time for you to begin to think about doing all those crazy things that really makes you happy. Things like going for a roller coaster ride, skydiving, and all those fun activities which you enjoy, but which you know you cannot be able to do when you get pregnant. It's just about making yourself happy and improving your emotional health. And then finally, it's time for you to check for your insurance coverage. In many parts of the world, it is very difficult to access healthcare. So this is the time for you to check your insurance coverage if you have one, to know what they can be able to do for you while you're pregnant and giving birth. Some insurance coverage may not be able to pay the bills if you eventually need a cesarean section, while some may. So it is the right time for you to have that discussion with them and know what they can be able to offer you, because now, when you get pregnant, you will need as many hospital visits as possible. And in this case, you cannot really determine exactly what you need, because pregnancy varies from baby to baby and from woman to woman. And last but not the least, this is the time for you to communicate very, very well with your partner. Since trying to conceive is not a one-man business, neither is it a one-woman business, this is the time for you to communicate, talk about what you want, when you want the baby, how you want the baby to be, taken care of, and other expenses that are involved, be it financial, physical, emotional. All of these are the kind of support that you will need. And you have to, plan for all of these by having an open and honest communication. I hope this video really helps you to get prepared in order to get pregnant. If this is something you really enjoyed, please consider giving me a like and subscribe to my channel, because here I give tips about fertility, women's health, and everything health. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best in your journey of trying to conceive. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next. Bye for now.